Welcome back to another episode of The Lawn Hustle. Today I have a special guest. I met him like the other day and I thought he was just super cool. Just kidding. He's my husband. Are you nervous?
A little bit.
Oh, so cute. You're so cute. You'll be just fine.
No, I know I will.
Anyways, so I wanted to have him on here because me and him were very different, but we're very alike at the same time. And you will see that in today's episode. Like, we're like yin and yang.
Are we?
What do you mean, are we? We're like opposite, but we're the same.
Yeah.
And we blend.
Yeah. Yeah, we're different in a lot of things.
Yeah. So, without being said, don't forget to subscribe, like this podcast if you're watching it on YouTube, because the more you guys like it, the more episodes I will keep on producing. So, let's get into it. Iggy, babe, how do we meet?
It was 3 years ago now.
And what attracted you to me?
Well, we met 3 years ago. It was through social media.
Yeah, because I messaged him
My old
first.
business.
And yeah, I messaged his old business, and then he messaged me from my personal from his personal
Page, yeah.
page, and then I just like didn't write back. Kind of just ignored him for like
She would like probably like a message and then she wouldn't reply, and I was like, what the fuck
No,
is
babe,
this?
because come on, it was so hard to keep up with you. You would literally respond to every story that I would post.
Yeah, that's...
Hard eyes. I'm like, oh my God.
And she would like, all of a sudden you would just like it, and then it would be like, what's next? And then she wouldn't talk to me, and then she would write a sentence, and then she wouldn't respond to me for 3 days. And I don't even know. Oh yeah, I remember how I got your number, actually, because she never gave me her number. So
He texted my business line.
no, it was not your business line. You had your assistant at the time put your cell phone on your business profile on Google. One of your business. It was not Lana Lashes. I think it was like Lana Wardrobe or something like that. And I texted that number because it was an iMessage text. And that's how I got your number.
I was like, oh my God, this guy's so creepy. Like, how did he get my number? So then I just like, whatever. Like, I ignored it. And then like, he would still message me on Instagram. And then...
I was going to book an appointment.
Yeah, and then he got me. He was like, okay, what do I have to do to like see you? And I'm like, I'm not sure. Like, I'm so busy, you know. He's like, oh, can we get a coffee? I'm like, okay, maybe. He's like, you know what? At this point, I'm just going to end up booking an appointment so that you could block off that time and then we can go and have coffee. Because at that time, I was literally like lashing back to back. I was living like on my own, and then I had my salon rent. So I was like hustling. I was like in my grind mode.
Yeah. One of the things that attracted me actually was that you were actually doing all those things while being a mom, you know? And even though I know that Instagram is not reality and all those things that people say, which is true, there's a lot more. And you only show what you want to show. But seeing that on a woman, it really attracted me because usually most women are, let me not generalize, like usually some women are on social media trying to find like a guy to save them, or like a rich guy, especially in Miami. And she didn't give me that impression. And I was really attracted, aside from her looks, for your grinding, you know, your hustle, like you said it. So that's what really attracted me. And actually our first meetup was her assistant at the time, and her assistant's sister. And when she said to me like, oh, let's go grab a coffee. Well, not a coffee.
I forgot to mention that they were coming with me.
And then she shows up and they are there. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I got like literally put on the friend zone, or like this is just going to be a one-time thing and she's going to go by her day. And then we literally sat down and we didn't stop talking like for the full like 2 hours.
My two friends at the time, and I just connected with him.
Yeah, they were there just for the drinks.
Well, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I was just like, I don't know, just like, I didn't think anything of it. Like, I was like, oh, come with me. Like, I didn't expect for you to like pay or anything for all of us. Like, I don't know.
What am I supposed to do? Like, oh, you pay for them, I'll pay for my shit? No, it doesn't work like that.
I don't know.
But yeah, it was after, and after that, we literally seen each other every single day. Like we didn't stop, and then she got pregnant, and the rest is history.
Yeah. 2.5 months later, got pregnant. We got engaged.
We're still not, well, now we're married, actually.
Yeah.
We still haven't had our like official wedding, but
That's
we're married.
coming in like maybe like 2025.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, it's good.
After we're done with the house.
Yeah.
Anyways, and what attracted me to him was that he was vulnerable. He was persistent. He would respond. He like was just so nice in the beginning, and then I don't know what happened. Honestly, no, I'm kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, but he was just so kind and just would pick me up, drop me off, like
We would
things-
live very close too, so
things-
that was a plus.
things like that, you know. Like it's for me it's like the little details.
Yeah. What happened now?
Don't take my jokes. Don't take my jokes.
I'm joking, babe.
Moving on. So what mindset or approach do you believe plays a crucial role in success as entrepreneurs?
You can answer that.
Mindset.
For you, it's only mindset.
Well, it says what mindset or approach. Okay, so for me, it's like being realistic and putting in the work day to day, because that's what's going to add up to the big picture. You can't just go from 0 to 100 because that's what people are showing on social media, or like kind of like a get rich quick thing. For me, like to build something that's sustainable and a brand, it's going to take years, and that's okay. Like, let's just normalize that, you know. But unless you want to just do something quick and easy and like not think long term, which I'm thinking long term, and you've helped me think that way too, that's the kind of mindset that you need to have in order to be like a successful entrepreneur. Because the people that I look up to, like Ed Milet, Alex Hormozy, like they're playing the long game, you know. They're not just doing anything just to get rich super quick, because they actually know like, yeah, but when they were just starting
I know what
10 20 years ago, they were grinding and hustling, and obviously like they didn't have kids at the time, or at least Alex didn't.
He still doesn't.
Well, he still doesn't, but I think it's a little bit different when you have kids. For me, like my Monday through Fridays, I'm like literally working. Let's say maybe I'll go and pick up Olivia 3 days out of the week, 4 days out of the week from school. I'll either bring her here or drop her off at art. That's right down from my business, and then get back to work until like 5 or 5:30.
Yeah.
And after that, I just try to do my best to be there as a mom, but I know like at least 6 to 8 hours of my day is for work.
For me, it's like first you have to define what success it's actually for you. Success, unfortunately, because of social media again, success has been identified as like show-off lifestyle, expensive dinners, cars, clothes, and all this stuff that we consume on social media. But the truth is that number one, that's not success. Number two, having social media as a parameter or as a thermometer of success, it's kind of like dumb. And I've done it before, you know, and it's dumb because anybody can fake success on social media. Like literally, you can go rent a car and show it on social media, and you will make people believe that that's your car, you know. So
for me, it's like the people selling the courses on how to make money, but they make money just selling that course.
Well, that's one of the biggest topics that you and I discuss internally, you know, on your journey as becoming who you're becoming and your success. Because I really agree with what you just said. I don't want to deviate from the question. I can touch base on that later on. But at the end of the day, success, the shoe, I heard this on a webinar that I did through by the author of The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. I don't know his name. And I did this course, this webinar, and he said something that it was like the shoe needs to fit, right? No matter, like, you can work 80 hours a week, 24 hours a day, and if the shoe doesn't fit, you are going to fail. And I experienced that on my own skin, where I had one of the biggest failures. Well, not failures. I don't look at things as failures. I look at things as lessons. One of the biggest lessons in my life, not so long ago. And when I sit now down, looking backwards, I look at it and I am like, that's the best thing that ever happened to me, because now I am in a position where the shoe fits and the sky is the limit, So again, you don't need to have millions of dollars to be successful. You don't need to have 50 employees plus to be successful. Like, let's walk away from all that stuff. You don't even need an office to be successful. Like, you can have your business running it from your home, and you can be making good money for yourself and capitalize on that money and become successful. Like, one of the biggest keys to success, aside from all what I just said, is also compounding on your success, right? If you are making $4,000 a month, but you are blowing up $4,000, you are never going to feel like you're successful, because you feel like money is not enough. And unfortunately, money and success go hand in hand, because I've never met anybody that sleeps on the streets or lives paycheck to paycheck that feels successful, right? So again, what I just said before, like, having $1 million doesn't mean that you're successful, because you can be miserable. But at the same time, if you don't have that financial stability, it's very hard for you to feel that way. So gain momentum being compounding
also, for me,
your money.
Success is doing the things that you said you were going to do. Like, that's a win. That's successful.
Yeah, of course.
Staying true to your word and taking that step 1 or step 2, or just even going to the gym consistently, like, that's success.
Yeah, building the habits. Like, you're definitely not going to be successful as an entrepreneur if you suck at everything else in your life. If you can control, I heard this on a podcast a few days back, because this really hit me. I used to play professional rugby, and I used to be very disciplined with my lifestyle. I used to take care of what I eat, drink, the time I go to sleep, getting shit done for my body and getting ready physically. And then when I became an entrepreneur, I took those habits into my work day and my business, but my personal self started, like, declining. I didn't look after what I eat. I didn't look after what time I would go to sleep. For a time, I was not even working out. And I heard this quote that says, like, if you can't control what you eat, just something as simple as what you eat, which is like picking up, like, McDonald's over a salad. Let's make it simple like that. If you can't make that decision, or if you can't battle those cravings, you're not going to be successful in business or in anything, like family-wise or anything, because we always have a choice. We always have decisions to make, and the decision that wins, which is usually the right decision, usually is the one that takes most discipline. So if you don't have that, you are not going to be successful.
Yesterday, we were celebrating my sister's birthday, and everybody was having fried wings, blooming onions.
Not me. I was only having steak, so.
Cookies, and I'm like, but I'm staying true to my plan and my coach and my journey at this moment in my time. And I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it. I literally pack my kids' lunch every day, and I smell it. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, that's discipline, and if you don't have that, you're not going to be able to build anything, like family-wise, relationship-wise. And we all make mistakes. We all go through, I think that Tony Robbins calls them winter seasons.
Yeah.
We all go through winter seasons, and it's in those seasons where we need to fall back into our discipline to get out and to be better, you know. And don't punish yourself so much for those mistakes, because that's another thing that will avoid your success. Like if you try all the time, like if you are trying to build something and all the time you're just reminding yourself of the fuck ups that you had, guess what? It's not going to happen. So you need to let go of that and build from there. But discipline is key. So if you guys are listening there, I guess that the audience is younger, on the younger side.
Not really. It's just women. A lot.
Okay.
Like
But
100% women.
try to stay away. Like this is me being me real. Like try to stay away from alcohol. Try to stay away from weed. Try to stay away from all these things that at the end of the day, the only thing that they do is just give you a moment of happiness, and then they put you 20 steps back. And that's something that for me at this stage that I am in, it's a no, you know. So
Awesome, babe. And what's one thing that you've learned from my success in the lash industry that you believe can apply to any business?
you jump one question.
I know. It's because I wanted to.
So what I learned from your success. So
In the lash industry that you believe can apply to any business.
okay, so first of all, you have a very unique business, and I said to you this all the time. Like you, without, I think that you did it unconsciously. Okay, you play the long game. You focus on building your brand. You show people, like you grew. You show people how you were growing. Like you went from using social media, like, you know, like
Just a showcase.
everybody in Miami showcase, like posting pictures of you in the beach with your kids or whatever the case may be.
No, like we're talking about Lana Lashes.
I know, but let me get there. You were posting those things, and then you slowly transition with your growth, with your internal growth. You slowly transition into more business and into more education, and showing people not only the quote unquote success, but also like the struggles, you know. Like you've always been very real on that, even on things that at the time when you were doing them, I even told you like, why are you doing that? But they ended up playing good for you.
Like what?
Like for example, when you lost all your team,
Oh, yeah.
that you posted a video like crying in tears. I would say like, I wouldn't recommend to do that to anybody, because it shows that your business, quote unquote, might be struggling. But for her, it worked because she played the long game so much that she showed everybody, from when she was lashing at her mom's room to all the growing pains that that you went through, that it actually was needed on, like you needed to do that,
1,000%.
So I think that in that sense, your business is very unique. And in that sense, those things, if I would have to look at something that you could apply from that perspective, for most people, it might be late because they already started their business. Right now, if you are just starting your business, what you can do, which she did very well, is just document and show your audience everything that you do, from the moment that you are nothing to the moment that you actually are able to have your own
because
facility
people
and
see like
employees.
my followers and they see like my work, but it wasn't always like this. I started off somewhere too, and it's like you can invest your time and your energy so much into like my journey or somebody else's journey that you look up to the point where like you kind of forget about yours, to the point where you kind of just develop imposter syndrome, to the point where you don't even make that post, to the point where you're like, oh my God, the lash industry is so saturated, I can't do that because she's doing it. No, that's not the case. That's literally not the case. What makes you different is you, your voice, your connection. Like 100% of the people might not connect with me or relate to me, but they'll relate to you.
Yeah.
Like there's
Also,
millions of people.
Also, too, I want to say two things. The first one is like the lash business as itself. You guys are learning, or you guys have, or are learning a skill that
It's bulletproof, recession-proof.
If you are disciplined and you are willing to do the work, you are never going to starve. It's like a barber for men, right? Like,
not even.
Yeah, it is the same thing, because like,
I guess.
People that take care of their beard or hair, like men, they would go to the barber and they will follow their barber anywhere. And on the lash business, I see it day in and day out with you. It's the same thing. Like girls coming from out of state to get lashes done with you after they moved out from Miami. And that's something that you guys need to capitalize on. And that's something that it's already a win, because 99.9% of the businesses, that's not happening. Like if you're on retail, you can be selling a product that in the next season it might be gone, and now you have to reinvent yourself, and you have to always be chasing the next product. Where in this beauty space, most beauty services, once you learn the skill, you know that you have
once you learn like the long lashes skills, because my skills are so in demand, and I just don't say that to say that. It's like it's proven by people that come from out of state and pay like $400 for me, or like $250 for Diana. Like it's literally proven.
Can I say something that it ties about your business and success? Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I want just to show there, just to give more value to them, using you as an example for them to see, is like I said before, that on success the shoe needs to fit, and the grass can always look greener on the other side, right? You can always be making $1 million and your neighbor is making $2 million, and you're going to think like, oh my God, my neighbor's business is better than mine. Let me try and see what I can do. And this is something that even you at your level suffer at certain points. And how many conversations we had back to back where it's like, oh babe, I want to do this.
I'll have a weekend that I'm home and I'll just like reconsider my whole life, my whole business. I'm like, what am I doing?
And she's like, oh my God, this and that. And then I am the one that has to tell her, because I've been through that path where I'm always like looking and this and that, until I realize that that's not the way to go. And I'm the one that I have to talk to her and actually remind her the value that she has with her brand and her community, and that's her biggest asset. So why are you going to focus on these that
it's short term?
It's short term. It's just for you because you're thinking like, oh, I can make X amount of dollars in the next 3 months, where you have a business that it's literally booming and you are actually helping people with skills that you really control. And you quoted Alex Hormozzi recently, which he's somebody that I look up to too, that one of the things that he says is like, anything that you do long enough and you're actually putting the work, you're going to be successful at. So no matter if it's like lawn maintenance, if you do it long enough and you put the hours, you can have a multi-million-dollar lawn maintenance company. Like he actually gave an example in one of his keynotes that he had a friend that he saw him after a while and he was like, oh, what are you doing? And the guy was like, well, I'm actually in roofing, but I also do construction. I also do this and I also do that. And Alex Hormozzi goes like, why are you doing all these many things? And he's like, oh, I don't want to leave money on the table, right? But then he started breaking down the business for his friend, and he used an example. There's one woman actually who is the biggest she owns the biggest roofing company in the world. Not in the world, in the US, that she's a billionaire doing roof.
Wow.
Just because she only focused on roofing. Wow. She didn't get to a project.
Oh my God.
Somebody called her company for roofing, and she got there. Like what his friend was doing, what Alex Hormozzi's friend was doing is somebody would call his roofing company, he would get there, he would see that they need plumbing, and he would offer plumbing too, because he didn't want to leave money on the table. what this lady did, he would get there and he would just focus on the roof. He would just focus on being the best at doing roofs. So now she gets a referral from making roofs, and that's how she had less overhead now, operating at a much higher profit margin, because all she does is roofing, where his friend has more revenue, but actually money taking home is way less, because now you have a roofing crew, you have a plumbing roof, you have insurance for roofing, you have insurance for your
Wait,
plumbing
can I
crew.
say something? That's so relatable, because like when my students or like somebody that I just speak to maybe through DM, they're like, "Oh yeah, like after I take your course, I'm gonna go and do brows." I'm like, "Why?" I'm like, "You just invested a couple $1,000s to do lashes and like master this first." Because guess what? I once did that too. When I first started doing lashes, I took a microblading course. I didn't like it. Whatever. At least I tried it. But like, I went all in. Like, I ended up being so busy with lashes itself that I couldn't even focus on microblading. So that's thank God you brought that up, because I get so many questions like, "Oh, like, I want to have my salon and I want to do lashes, but then I also want to like do facials and brows and this and that." I'm like, okay, that's fine, but you're not going to do all of those services, right? Like, people will pay top price to go to a specialist.
It's like just people, they just chase money, and that's a thing that,
and then wonder why they have to charge lower to
yeah,
get more
to get
booked.
clients. But it's also like when you are making a life decision, like you can make these decisions based on money, because money is actually infinite in the world, and if you're good, you can make money. Like,
We are infinite.
I just said this before, like, I don't know if you guys heard the podcast from Alex Hormozzi when he was saying that, but if you tell me before that podcast, I would have never thought that there was a billionaire in this world doing roofs. Why? Not because there's not roofs to be fixed or done in this country, but I wouldn't think about that, because it's like, usually people that do roofs, they are doing 20 different things at the same time, and they look successful. They look like maybe they have a good life, and that's what their success is. But why not squeeze all the juice out of the orange, right? Take all the juice out. Why just go half away and now grab another orange? Like, at one point, you're going to be grabbing 10 different oranges, and on the last one, you're going to be able to squeeze very little juice because you're going to be tired. So the biggest resource that you have, which is your time, okay, and the time and your energy is what allows you the input in whatever business you go. That's limited. Like, that's not infinite. You can only work X amount of hours a day. You can only give your all X amount of hours a day. That has a limit. Everything else, it's infinite. It's infinite the amount of clients that you can get. It's infinite the amount of money that you can make. But the one thing that you need to get all those things, which is your time and your energy, is limited. So don't try to squeeze all the oranges. Squeeze one and dry it out, and then plant the seed of that orange, build a tree, and now keep squeezing those oranges one by one.
To realign your energy and your thoughts so that you don't bring that energy out, because you're responsible for the energy that you bring
I agree.
in. So that might help as well. But it's not like, oh,
just
like
meditating. That's what I'm
and
saying.
Wish and,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
clarify
meditation works if you are working.
Yes.
But at the same time, if you don't meditate and you're working, you're probably going to get the same results. Meditation works for quieting your thoughts, for aligning your mindset. But if you spend 20 minutes meditating, you quiet your thoughts.
But I think
Let me
that you
finish.
can work better too if your thoughts are not so loud. Therefore, meditate for 5 to 10 minutes. That's pretty much all you need. You can even meditate in the car with no music. Just be present. Look at the trees.
Let me ask you a question.
What?
To challenge that.
Okay.
This is our yin and yang type of thing. Let me ask you a question.
Ask.
If you meditate today, but your business does $0 in revenue, Are you going to feel fine?
Whether I meditate or not, no.
Are you going to feel fine if you meditate today and your business does $0 in revenue?
No.
Okay. If you meditate today and your business does $50,000 in revenue, are you going to feel fine?
I'm going to keep meditating. No, kidding.
You're going to feel fine?
Yeah.
If you don't meditate today, but you do $50,000 in revenue, are you going to feel good?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah,
meditation
but
works.
No.
Meditation
so my
works.
point is, like, if you're feeling anxious, I'm not saying that meditation is just gonna bring in $50,000, $10,000.
People hear the message and they hear that. They hear like, oh, you need to start manifesting by meditation, and you're going to see this and that.
But look. Okay, so so meditate, and there's different forms of meditation. There's visualization meditation, where you actually get to experience that feeling from within if you take it serious, and like picture like everything that you pretty much want, right? Or be or act or do. And then that feeling is going to kind of just help you get motivated a little bit more if you don't already have those habits and that discipline. So therefore, that's my take on it.
I feel like...
But also, too, what Wayne Dyer says, it's like, the reason why he didn't want to do that movie's The Secret, because manifesting is wanting. And it's like, if you want something, then you're lacking from within. That's what he says. He's like...
Yes and no.
He's like, the souls that are pretty much attached to nothing suffer less. So, like, for me, like... I'm not attached to a certain party, right? As far as politics. Like, I will do fine, and this is just me. We are different. I will do just fine. Look, I'm doing just fine as Biden being president. Yeah. Now, do I like one party over the other? Sure. But that's a different story. But I'm not attached to it. So it's like, if you say you're this party, great, like, good for you. I'm not going to get all riled up like my mom does, or like you do, or like,
I don't get riled up.
They're freaking idiot. Blah, blah, blah. That's energy, like,
I don't get riled up
to those people. And guess what? When you talk about other people, you send a cord and you're now attached. Okay, well, that's fine. You see, we're a little bit different, but I'm booming, so let's go.
I don't get attached. I don't get riled.
That's being attached.
Those things.
That's being attached to a certain party when you get all riled up when there's a different party.
First of all,
which fine, like I respect you.
I don't get riled up because of the party. I don't care about parties
or the people. What they do.
I care about because
I care about what me and my family want to do.
Yes, but what me and my family want to do,
and my circle.
What they're doing affects what me and my family have to do. Like, if I have to start thinking that what type of school I want to send our kids to because of the shit that they're doing, that pisses me off. And it has not. I don't want to even get into that. Like, it has nothing
just
to do.
adjust to it. We find the solution and like, come on.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be like that.
But guess what? Like, we can't control. We can't knock on the door and be like, hey, like, can you please not put those, Oh, okay, sure, Ignacio, for sure. Just for you, I will do that. So
it's not just for me. It's like, that's why I get rattled up, is because I think that people are, because I think the same way like you. I only think, and you bring that topic up, so now you have to ride the wave.
Okay.
Is like, I think that the government only should do 3 things for us: health care, making it accessible, not free, but making it accessible for everybody. Education, making sure that kids get proper education until the age of 17 or 18, not more, not college free and all this shit that they're trying to do, okay? Because college is a privilege, is not something that everybody should be entitled to. And number 3 is giving the right economic circumstances for people to develop their futures. Those are the 3 things that a government should do. When they start getting involved in all these different shit that this particular government is getting involved in, it's really annoying. And the fact that people that voted and support this clown that we have as a president, okay, don't see that, and they don't see it's just not even ideology. Like, forget about the ideology. You can agree with him. But when this guy stands in the camera and he has to read from a teleprompter, or he tries to get into the plane and he triples down, how can you support a leader of a country to act like that? Would you hire Joe Biden to be the CEO of your company? Fuck
right,
no.
Next topic.
So why would you vote it as a president? You're probably going to cut this, so I know.
No, we're gonna leave it. It's
So
fine.
I'm just saying,
It's
like,
fine. Like, if people don't like it, they can just skip to the end.
that's the
Or
truth.
unsubscribe. Whatever. Whatever. It's
Okay.
You're entitled to your opinion.
That's the truth.
And thank you for speaking up. And I respect everything that you have to say.
Yeah, because you agree with everything that I said.
Yeah, I do. I do. So to close this off, can you give us a sneak peek into a typical family day when you both are not working? So it's usually weekends. I love my weekends now. Prior to maybe like a year to 2 years ago, I was working weekends, lashing, like taking clients, like that's what I was doing. But now that I can enjoy the fruits of my labor. We wake up, I change the diapers, I make the breakfast.
Make the breakfast. You only make breakfast for the kids.
I know, for the
We
kids.
don't have breakfast.
For the kids.
So
Anyways, I love you all. Don't forget to subscribe and comment down below on what you guys want to see next. If you want him to eventually be a co-host.
you want me to be your co-host because you have fun with me. That's why.
Don't tell my mom.
Yeah,
He's like, Alana, am I still going to be on the podcast? Am I still in the loop?
I've been the best co-host that you've ever had. So
Yeah, because you hype me up and you talk about me.
I talk.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment down below on what you guys want to see next, because I'm doing this podcast for you guys. I want to help and spread as much love and positive energy and education that this world needs for free.
That's good.
Yeah? All right, let's go.